Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. So today I want to look at a topic that compares the European civilization and the Islamic civilization from the perspective of starting to pose questions, starting to philosophize some of the aspects of life. Then the Romans came and they took and they inherited this philosophy and they started to create some applications, especially in the governance. Then medieval periods came, and this is where the centrality of the religious book of the basically the power of the church and the control of the church and what it means to be a good person started to emerge. And during this period, the religious text became the center of governance as well as the center of people's lives. Then after that came the Renaissance, and this period, basically people started to look at how the human being is the center of any civilization. The Muslim empire as well, it went through very similar processes. So it started with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who started to pose some very deep, thoughtful ideas that were changing how people view the world, as well as it started to change how people ask questions about the world. After that, it followed by a period by the Khulafa, the Caliphate, the four Caliphate. Then after that came the Umayyad period, during which people started to pose even bigger questions, bigger philosophical questions. Then the Abbasid period, the first Abbasid period, came, and this is where people started to apply some of the knowledge and the philosophies that they have found, that they have collected, and they started to create some tangible applications to it. And this is where the first experimental knowledge came in. So knowledge was not purely based on the theory or the philosophy. It wasn't only based on Aristotle's methodology of pursuing knowledge, but now it became about experimentation, about testing these theories. Then the second Abbasid period came, and this is where, again, similar to Europe, the central piece that was the focus of many people is what it means to be religious and how to pursue that religiosity and what to do with it. And then after that came the shock when Europe invaded the Islamic world. And now we are at a period in which we're almost just waking up and trying to create that balance. What happened? Why did that issue happen? Why did the caliphate fall? And all of that aspects. In both of the civilizations, the European civilization as well as the Islamic civilizations, during the downfall of both civilizations, the the way that religiosity was defined was a factor. So in Europe, for example, during the medieval periods when the church was in control, the term or the definition of religiosity became or the meaning of it became to be the person who withdraws from this life, the person who is very simple in their clothing, a person who is not attached to this life. He or she do not contribute to their life, or to this life. They seclude themselves. They only focus on studying the religious texts because that's where all of the knowledge is. In the Muslim world, this also happened during the second Abbasid period. So this is during the 8th to the 12th or 13th century, where there was a lot of scholarship, but a lot of the religious scholarship was not new scholarship. It was basically a regurgitation of existing scholarships or existing scholarship. For example, someone might take a text, some sort of an intellectual production of some previous centuries, and he would explain it into bigger volumes. or they would take something that was explained in bigger volumes and summarize it. And basically, what the argument was that all of this, good knowledge has already been produced, and the our ancestors left us nothing new to produce. So the best thing to do is to take the existing knowledge and try to be of servitude to it, whether that is by studying it, memorizing it, explaining it, summarizing it, all of that, all of these aspects of regurgitation of knowledge. After that period for the Muslim Empire, that's when the shock came that the civilization basically became way behind compared to the European civilization. In Europe, when their focus was this bad definition of what it means to be religious, they also woke up to the shock that, oh, what happened to the great civilization of the Greek that the Romans inherited, and then now we inherited that, and what happened to all that great history. They were also shocked about that. So the key aspect that I want to communicate here is not necessarily that religiosity is bad, but it is how we define religiosity that can be bad. I hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next episode.